Hey guys, welcome to the game room. I have received something in the mail today I want to share with you guys. This is a battle mat. Let me get this opened up here. You may be familiar with battle mats. A lot of different companies, well, a few different companies make them. This one's a little different in that the people I bought it from sell you the image file and then you get it printed yourself, and that's exactly what I did. So let's see, we're going to see what it looks like for the very first time right now, and then I'll tell you where I got it and where I got it printed and all that. This is big. Okay, what I'm going to do is actually stop the camera for a second, pick it up by hand, and then show you guys what this thing looks like. Okay, well here it is. We're going to get a little bit of glare from the overhead lights, but as you can see it's a large highway, like a 4-lane highway, into a big interchange here, and then it goes off into the corner here to like a city area where you could, populate those blocks with a lot of buildings. So far, just looking at it, for the first time right now, I'm pretty satisfied with it. The artwork is really quite good. Let me see if I can get some views here without the glare. It's really difficult. I'm gonna have to post some still photos for you guys to see. But I can tell you a couple of things I'm noticing right now. First of all, there's a couple of cars, a crashed car on the road. Kind of wish those weren't there. I'd rather put down some real cars. Also, when I had this this file loaded into Photoshop, which I'm going to talk about in just a second because that's kind of important, I kind of wish I would have done a little cutting and pasting and gotten rid of this bridge here, because I think I'd much rather put a real three-dimensional bridge on there so I can actually pass vehicles underneath and whatnot. But first impressions anyways, it's really cool. It looks, the artwork that they've done is really good. Very first-rate artwork, so I'm happy with it so far. Just looking over it. I'm looking over it the first time with you guys right now. I know that the lights are really annoying, but there's not much I can do about that right now. So let me put the camera back over, and then I want to talk to you a little bit about where I got it printed, and a few other things like that. Alright, well, I'm back with you here. So just a few things. It is 4 feet by 6 feet, so it's a pretty good size for a decent sized game. Like I said, the artwork, the work they've done in creating the rivers and the roads all have like cracks in the pavement and stuff. It's definitely first-rate artwork. So let me tell you where I got it. I'm gonna have to put up the website address right here, hopefully, so you guys can see it, because unfortunately, instead of registering a normal domain name, they've got one of those domain names that's something.something.ru/something else/something else/page.html, and if I give it all to you right now, you're going to type it in wrong and it's going to be a big mess. So that's an unfortunate thing. They should have just registered, they actually called themselves Wargame Print. They should have just registered wargameprint.ru and been done with it, but they didn't, but whatever. So the file itself was $11.20 to buy, and that's the US price. You pay them with PayPal, and then it gets kind of weird after that. You pay, and then you're sitting there wondering, like, okay, now how do I get the file? I went back to the site and was able to figure it out and get it and download it. And then sometime later they actually sent me an email that said, here's a link to get your file, but I'd already had it by then, so it wasn't a problem. But it's a little wonky. You're not going to get something immediately sent to you, but they will send it to you. The file itself is a TIFF file, TIFF file, and it's a huge file. It's 300 megabytes. As you might expect, a file this big would be that big. And I had a little bit of a problem with that in that I wanted to get this printed at Vistaprint, which is a printing company online that I use quite often. And for some unknown reason, even when you're buying a banner this big, which technically this is a banner, they have a file restriction. 28.5 megabytes is the largest file they'll accept, which I think is a little ridiculous when you're talking about banners this size to expect files to be that small. But as sort of an experiment and a way to get this done, I loaded this file in Photoshop and then I saved it out as a JPEG, and I kept saving it at lower and lower quality settings until I got down around 28.5. And I think the eventual setting was about 7, I think, 7 out of 10. And looking at it, I don't see any image quality loss. I think that's fine. So if you have to do that to get it uploaded to your printing service, don't be too scared about that. Like I said, the printing service that I used was Vistaprint. I use them a lot for a lot of different things: business cards, postcards, flyers, banners. I've got a big Gamecraft Miniatures banner that I use at conventions. So I decided to use them. This is it's an indoor vinyl. It's not terribly thick, but it's certainly thick enough for this purpose. Pricing. For some reason, when I uploaded this file and had it printed, they were having some kind of special sale, like 30% off. So I was able to get this printed for $41.99, and that's with the 30% off discount. So it would have normally been, I don't have that number here. Well, it would have been a little more. It was $41.99. So you're probably looking at about 50 bucks, 50 something without the discount. But I thought that was pretty reasonable. It came to $56.14 for the printing, the tax, and the shipping. And then you add on the $11.20 that I paid for the file, and it came, for me, it came to a total of $67.34 to have this completely done. And that's pretty reasonable and pretty much on par with some of the other ones like cigar box mats. I will say that cigar box mats have an advantage in that they're cloth, and you can put things under the cloth and create mountains and things like that. I'm not sure how that's going to work with this vinyl. Yeah, it's not going to, it's not going to contour at all. So this needs to be left flat. So that's a little bit of an issue. If you want to do mountains, or hills, things like that, you're going to want to go with a cloth mat. But if you're cool with it being perfectly flat, which is mostly kind of a city and highway situation, so it would be probably pretty flat, and a river running through it, would be reasonably flat too. So if you're okay with that, then printing on this vinyl banner material is not a problem. Like I said earlier, when I had this loaded up in Photoshop and I was trying to get the file size smaller, I really wish I would have gotten rid of the bridge over the river and the bridge overpass here. I wish I would have just gotten rid of those, and then I could build myself a couple of three-dimensional bridges that I could actually just set on here. As it is now, I'm probably going to bust out my airbrush and just kind of try to make this go away, extend the river through as closely as I can, and then I'll make a bridge for that, and I'll do the same thing here. I'll just paint this out black and put some lines, and then make a small bridge to go there. I'm really looking forward to the city area over there. I think that's going to be cool because I have a lot of buildings, because that's my job. I make buildings, so I have a whole bunch of buildings. So I'll be able to set up a really cool city over there, and I generally like it. Like I said, the artwork they did is fantastic. I can't argue at all. Even you can even see, like, they look like foot trails and things. I'll show you some pictures here in a second. I'll pop some up over here or over here. I'm not sure where yet. You'll be able to see that there are some trails and things, and then of course the river and the rocks along the bed. And again, the road has a bunch of cracks in it and stuff, and that's kind of cool. I could live without the vehicles on the road because they are two-dimensional. I would rather just plop a few vehicles down myself. So that's an issue right there, but not a big one. So generally I'm happy with this thing. Like I said, the company or the people, they're calling themselves Wargame Print. They're out of Russia. I'll pop up the website address. I'll put the website address in the description of the video and on the blog at itgrpodcast.com. So I have all the links there so that you can go directly to the page that has this. They make a lot of different mats, but this is the only one they make so far in 6mm or 2/85 scale. So I'll put a link directly to this one, as well as a link to just generally their site. And I'll also give you a link to Vistaprint. Of course, you can just Google them if you want, but they'll do 4x6 banners in the vinyl, and they'll print it for you. So generally, I like it. If I'm going to give it a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give the artwork a 10. That's straight up 10 for the artwork. It's very nice. A couple of things I would change just out of my own preference, but the quality of the work they did is 10 out of 10. The printing on vinyl and the overall finished product, I'm going to give it about an 8 because of the fact that you can't put things under it like you can with the cloth mats. It'd be interesting to see if anybody knows if this type of file can be printed on cloth and how much resolution you would lose. I imagine you're going to lose a little bit printing on cloth instead of something smooth like vinyl. But if you have any information on printing on cloth, leave that in the comments on the blog or on the video itself on YouTube, and let me know, because maybe I'll have another one made someday. So again, I'm very happy with it. Looks good. I'm sure I'm going to use it and enjoy it. I'm going to do the 2 modifications to the overpasses and build a couple little bridges myself, because I just love building bridges. And then I'm going to play a game on it and see how it works. So there you go. If you're thinking about getting one from Wargame Print, I would suggest it, recommend it. I don't have any reservations. I'm not sorry in any way I bought it. It's a hell of a deal for just over $11 for the file, and then get it printed wherever you can. You could probably find a large format printer like at a Staples or somewhere where they'll print this just on paper if you want to do like a test, print it out, put it on your game table and see what it looks like. But vinyl is pretty reasonable, and again, I'm happy with it and I'm going to use it, so there you go. That's a good thing. Thanks a lot for watching. Talk to you guys later. Keep on gaming.